Riding the waves of CrossFit's ever-growing popularity, the 2023 Royal Navy CrossFit Finals is the first of its kind, set on crowning the fittest male and female athlete in the Navy. CrossFit takes a unique approach to fitness, with grueling workouts that pushes the human body to its absolute limits. The two-day event saw 20 athletes gather at HMS Temeraire in Portsmouth to complete 8 highly intensive workouts. The athlete who rakes in the most points after 8 events is awarded the coveted title Fittest in the Fleet. The men's competition was so highly competitive, it was not clear to begin with who would be the front runner to win the title. But in the end, there was no stopping Harry Thomas, as he powered through his workouts to eventually nab the top spot over his fellow competitors. Currently based in the Gulf with MCM1 Crew 5, the able seaman diver has experience competing in civilian CrossFit, and he has nothing but good things to say about the inaugural Royal Navy event.
There's other fit people in the Navy, definitely, yeah. A lot of fit dudes and girls turned up, and hopefully after that we sort of push the sport in the Navy and the military a bit more, and hopefully some bigger comps in the years to come.
And you've done CrossFit for a few years, but it's the first time a military service has put one on.
Yeah.
How would you rate this compared to the ones you've competed in the past, for example?
I'd say in terms of the actual events that have been placed here, better than anything I've done through civilian CrossFit and in the CrossFit community. In terms of a swimming event, like the first event with the row was all set up in the screen in front of where you could see everyone else's paces, to having it, the ability to come outside with the rigs and the ropes in the sun. I think in terms of like actually an event to perform at, there's nothing better. Probably the best one I've done. Yeah.
The women's competition, on the other hand, did have a clear front runner, as HMS Drake-based Catherine Forrest led the way from the start, proving her mettle as a true all-around athlete to take home the first ever women's title. She now hopes that a team format to CrossFit could spark more interest and lure in more athletes from the services.
I'm really relieved. I get really nervous about things like this because I put a lot of pressure on myself. And each event I get super nervous just before we start. So I'm sort of like riding that adrenaline wave. But yeah, I feel class, I feel buzzing. It's really good. I think a team version of this would be really popular as well. Just because like I love CrossFit, I train twice a day, 5 days a week, but I still get really nervous competing by myself. So like people that aren't as into CrossFit would probably be even more nervous competing by themselves, and there's some sort of like comfort competing in a team, camaraderie, you've got them to rely on. So I think if they do an individual one next year and a team one as an option for people to get involved and just see what it's like, I think that would be really popular. And then like you say, if they did an inter-services, that would be amazing as well. Teams and individual, I think would be class, it'd be really good.
CrossFit was approved by the Royal Navy's Military Judgment Panel in 2021, and with the success of this year's inaugural championships, there is growing hope for a tri-service event involving the Army and the Air Force in the near future.
Yeah, so effectively we're not classed as a fully recognised sport because it doesn't have a British national governing body, but we are recognised now as a military judgment panel, which means we can tap into additional funding and resources to allow us to grow and to be able to provide travel opportunities for our athletes to take part in. In terms of the other two associations, the RAF is starting to grow some affiliates now within their position as well, and are mirroring some of the work that we've been doing with CrossFit HQ and CrossFit UK. And the Army also run their own Warrior Fitness, and we hope that we can link in across them and try and entice some of those athletes to come and compete with us also. In the future, we'd like to run and have growth and opportunities for a tri-service event, so we can really strengthen the field and display some of the awesome male and female athletes that we know that we host within the military.
And as Royal Navy CrossFit continues to grow from strength to strength, it may only be a matter of time before we see all 3 services taking up this seemingly popular workout and pushing their bodies to their absolute limits. Craig Tilley, Forces News, Portsmouth.